Well, welcome to a late night live stream. At least it's fairly late here. It's going on almost 9 o'clock in the evening. And if you're watching this from the East Coast, it's going on almost 10 o'clock in the evening. And if you're watching it from somewhere else, I have no idea what time it is. But we're getting ready to wrap up this contest giveaway. And I wanted to give you another update. And this is not the giveaway machine that you're looking at right here. This is a project that I'm evaluating right now. And if you take a close look at it, oops, like I said, I've got this kind of tangled a little bit. Oh, gumdrops. Hold on a second. All right, I think I got it now. I think I got it. Hold on a second. So this is a project that I'm evaluating right now. It's been in the workshop for a little bit, but I'm just getting to it right now. And it's got a lot of potential, but boy, is it going to be a project. See if I can hold the camera still here. This, if you take a close look at it, you can see that it is a very early Richmond model that would have been put out by the National Sewing Machine Company. And it's got some beautiful adornments on it. Look at this branding crest right here with, looks like the San Francisco Bridge almost, doesn't it? I'm trying to read what it says. Charles William somebody, New York City. So that's definitely not California. It's indicating that it's New York City. And that would make sense because that's one of the manufacturing locations that the National Sewing Machine Company had. But look at this rust. The balance wheel can barely move. It's rust from one end to the other. So just in the process of writing down some notes about this machine. And this one came to the workshop from Cindy and Terry O'Leary. Talk about an Irish name, huh? We just got done celebrating St. Patrick's Day. And this machine came from Cindy and Terry O'Leary. And they are from the great state of Wisconsin. How often do I get a chance to say that? And this is going to need a base rebuild as well. You can see the base is, looks like it got real wet and weather soaked. Kind of look at the machine. You can kind of see what I'm going to be working with. And I always say this, if the rust looks like this from the outside, guess what it looks like on the inside of the machine for this Richmond machine by the National Sewing Machine Company. Kind of get a glimpse right there of some of the challenges. But you know what? That's okay. Machines come to the workshop because they need sometimes intensive care. Yeah, they do. And on this particular machine up here, this is actually how we regulate upper tension. And it's not regulating so well right now. Nope, it's not. And then we've got this other machine over here that actually came to the workshop from Mary Schmortz, who is from Michigan, if I remember correctly. And this is a fairly early version of a New Home sewing machine. And I'd like to say that both of these machines, as we're finishing up this contest for Calico, both of these machines came to the workshop in Calico, and I'm evaluating them now for restoration. So that's why I decided in this instance not to rush and pull these off of the workbench, but to show you what I'm working on in Calico at the Cow Country Vintage Sewing Machine and Restoration Workshop. And again, it's going to be right about up here. Yeah, just kind of come down the street right over here, come past this bicyclist right here, up around here, and then you're up in the Cow Country Workshop. So with that in mind, why don't I share with you a couple of additional entries that came in today. We got 3 entries in today, you guys. 3 entries. So it just goes to show you, folks are either wanting to be dramatic or they're procrastinators. Well, whatever they are, I'm glad that they got the entries in, and I'm glad that we can kind of move forward and wrap up this exciting contest that we've had. If I point the camera some direction here, we've had really kind of a great contest as we hit 12,000 subscribers. I'm going to move both of these machines to the side. And again, use your imagination that in the middle here, right in this neck of the woods here, where the pen, here, I'll put the pen and paper there where I'm taking notes on what I'm going to need for these projects, for these 2 machines. And right in this area, remember again that along with the 270th anniversary machines that Singer put out last year to celebrate 170 years from 1851 to 2021, 170 years. But I'm also offering this mystery machine in the middle here that is made in Switzerland. It's a genuine vintage machine and it's knee controlled. So keep that in mind. If in these very final hours of this contest giveaway, you're wanting to jump in and say, I've got until 11:59 to get my entry in. I've got till 11:59 to get my entry in. So, geez, I got time to burn. I can still do this. And you know what? You're absolutely right. You still have time to get an entry in. So you'll want to go to Facebook, or I'll try to post it in the description for this live stream as well, and give you an idea what you need to do to get that contest entry in. We had 3 people race to the finish today and get their entries in, less than 24 hours before the contest was going to end. So you could be incredibly dramatic and get that email to me like at 11:58 Central Standard Time. So, yeah, why not? Be dramatic. Have fun. Yeah. Well, hello to Emma B, first of all. And I gotta let you guys in on a secret. Can I let you in on a secret? Since we are the family of Cow Country and we take care of each other, we care about each other, we look out for each other, all that good stuff. Emma B is such a trooper. She had a surgical procedure today, is still in the hospital. She's in the hospital. And she still joined this live stream. So if you watch this after the fact and you go, well, I had something going on, or I had to take care of tidying up this or whatever, you don't have much of an excuse, because Emma B made it to this live stream and she's doing it from her hospital bed, hooked up to IVs after having a surgical procedure. That is dedication. That is a Cow Country girl to the max. That's a Cow Country girl to the max. Also, we can welcome Susie from the great state of Minnesota. We can welcome Christina from the beautiful country of Brazil. We can welcome Dr. T from the beautiful country of Finland. And I think I greeted everybody. I think I did. I hope I did. I might have greeted everybody. If I somehow missed you, then Emma B, being one of the moderators for this channel from her hospital bed in the great state of Florida, she will take good care of you, because I'm going to try to move this live stream forward because it's getting really late. It's going on 9 o'clock in Wisconsin. It's going on 10 o'clock in anywhere on the East Coast. And Lord knows what time it is in Brazil or in Finland for Christina and for Dr. T. But they're also committed to the cause. I'm so glad that everybody put their life on pause and joined us for this wrap-up live stream, just as this contest giveaway for 12,000 subscribers is wrapping up. All right, blah, 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 blah. Let me kick on a little bit of music, drink some water. I've got 3 entries to read to you that came in today. 3 entries. This is great. I love you guys. You guys are so awesome. Even in the last hours of the contest, I wouldn't be surprised if someone submits another essay just before midnight Central Standard Time, because you guys are the greatest. You're amazing. You're amazing. Let's put on some amazing music to get excited to. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. What does this sound like? Ah, that's too much like the other one. Give me another one. Oh, come on, really? We're all going to go to sleep. Ooh, this is fun. Yeah. Oh, welcome to Veronica as well. And this is a different Veronica. We have a Veronica that is a judge right now covering for Sunny. And this is a different Veronica. Our Veronica that's a judge is Veronica Oyama from the great state of Texas. Yeah, it is. Oh, wait a second. You are the right Veronica. Oh my gosh, I'm so confused. Veronica's using an alias. I think she's working for the government. Although I thought she was a school teacher. She's got more names than Mr. Bean. Yes, she does. Welcome, Veronica the judge. Yes. Awesome. Ha ha! I love it. All right, here we go. Oh my gosh, I thought I cleaned these glasses. You guys ever wonder how the heck do glasses get dirty when you're not even wearing them? And I just cleaned them like 5 minutes ago. Jiminy crickets, this is crazy. All right. All right, I'm almost set, you guys. Give me a sec. All right. Mr. Bean, would you pause the music, please? Mr. Bean. All right, thanks. Okay, the first one I'm going to read to you came in late this afternoon, and I haven't even had a chance to put it on one of those big sheets of paper yet. With the help of my friends at Bay Impressions here in Oconto, I've been emailing them the entries that have been coming in. And as they come in, hold up, I'm right over here. Here I am. Yeah. As the entries come in, I'm emailing them down to my friends at Bay Impressions. Bay Impressions is Oconto's equivalent of FedEx or a UPS store. They do every kind of printing you can imagine. They helped me with the certificates for the Willy Wonka thing that we did to raise money for the Humane Society. And they helped me with pretty much anything that needs to be printed. So this came in so late, this particular entry, I sent it to them, but they were already closed for business. It came in that late. So I'm going to read it from my phone, and hopefully I can do a good job of it, because it's really teeny tiny compared to the other ones. All right. So first of all, if you're in this live stream, whether you're like Christina in Brazil or Dr. T in Finland or any of our other friends, welcome to the town of Calico. And that's what this really cool puzzle thing represents. That is the core of our contest. So let me read this entry that came in. It's our last entry that I've gotten today. And it starts out, sewist in a small town. As I sit here thinking about whether Gary and I have made the right choice, leaving the big city, moving to a small town, I look all around me to see dozens of people with friendly faces sitting on blankets on the grass. Then it happens, the band. Yeah, probably like right here in this bandstand. The band concert begins, and before I know it, the music makes the doubt in my mind go away. Looking up at the gazebo, the band leader announces that there are no rehearsals, but they all know how to read music, and that is how they can come together as a band and sound pretty good. My husband, Gary, is a fine cabinet maker and carpenter and felt that moving to a small town would be a good idea and a great place to raise children. I embraced the idea since I had sewing skills and felt certain we could earn a living in Calico, California. Saturday rolled around and we decided to attend a swap meet at the town square. That's when my life took a big turn. From across the lawn, I saw what looked like the most wonderful sewing machine I'd ever seen. Its head was sitting on top of a cabinet, and I was mesmerized. But what I saw as I quickly walked closer to admire this vision, I knew that I wanted it so much and had to have it. The money raised from the swap meet was being donated to the band, so I felt doubly pleased with my purchase. Now the fun begins. Gary and I brought the machine home, and upon further examination, we discovered there was some damage to one of the cabinet drawers. There was This was no problem at all for Gary, as he is a talented craftsman and could repair anything made of wood. I wasn't sure about the machine and thought I should take it into Mr. Geller's sewing machine repair shop and have it serviced before I use it. Upon entering the shop, I was greeted by Mr. Geller, who asked how he could be of service. Upon showing him my machine, he told me it was a Singer 15-91 and that he was a salesman for this model. When it was first manufactured, he said that he would be happy to clean it up for me and that I could pick it up at the shop the following day. The next day, I returned to pick up the machine, and what happened next took me totally by surprise. Mr. Geller not only had my Singer 1591 ready for me, but he asked if I would like to leave it in the shop and start working for him doing sewing repair work and alterations. I was so taken back by this surprise job offer that my eyes began to tear up. There can be nothing more peaceful than the quiet of the Mojave Desert. One could hear a pin drop if there was no wind blowing. I could not be more at peace than I am now. Had I not found the Singer sewing machine at the town square, that Saturday my life would be different than it would not being telling this story. So here I am in Calico, California, sharing my dream life with my husband and loving the best job I could ever want. It is so clear to me now that coming here was the right choice. Now, I have to confess to you guys, as I read that story that came in from our very talented author late this afternoon, what I just read was my very first reading of it. I shot it out to the judges, including Emma and Veronica that are in this live stream right now. I didn't read it. And so hopefully I did a decent job of kind of bumbling and stumbling through it as I just read it to you now. So, but isn't it great to see the talent showcased of someone that jumped into this contest? And I didn't tell you, this author that wrote this said she had no plans. Let me read exactly what this author wrote. She said, "Hi, Scott. I had no intention of entering this contest, but after listening to your podcast yesterday," I didn't even know that I had a podcast, but I'm joking. A podcast, a live stream, they're all the same. I decided to jump in before the deadline ends. I think that makes you the premier influencer on YouTube, LOL. So apparently I'm an influencer now too, whatever that is. And I'm doing podcasts, which I didn't know. But at any rate, all kidding set aside, this is an author that had no intentions of jumping into this contest and decided to do it today. Literally sat down, wrote out that really cool story that I just shared with you about her husband and her husband Gary and her coming to Calico. And then I apparently, unbeknownst to me, but I'm glad that I did, because I need help. As you can see from stuff like this coming into the workshop, this Richmond and this new, I definitely need help in the workshop. So I made a job offer to this individual that came to Calico in California with her husband, and now I've got somebody to finally help me. Yay! Yay, 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 yay. I love it. Well, Veronica is a teacher. She's one of our judges as well, and she said she approved my reading. I think she's being incredibly kind, because I know a couple of times I had some pauses, which maybe is thoughtful reflection, but it's probably as I was trying to look at this little screen on my phone and go, wait, what line was I on? Was I on the third line or the fourth line? I think I'm going to put my music back on and get a drink of water. And then we'll go on to these next entries as well. I've got 2 more entries to read to you right now. Yes, I do. All right, I'll stop. Aha! All right, quick drink of water. Let's read the next one. All right, I'm going to change the shot so you guys don't get stir crazy staring at Calico so close. And if you guys caught a glimpse of just above the workbench, you're not losing your mind. These are 2 of our little friends. They are nieces and nephews to Dr. Singer. You can see one of them right there, and then our other one right there. I think you can see them. Yeah. We've got all kinds of friends in the workshop, don't we? All right, let me pause the music. 1, 2, 3. All right. So I'm pausing the music so I can read this next entry to you. And these 2, because of my friends at Bay Impressions in Oconto, these I was able to print, or I should say I was able to ask them to please print them. So I should be able to read these with even a little bit more finesse than the last one. So let's see what I can do with this one. And I'm going to call this one, as a matter of fact, I'm going to grab, hold on a second. Where's our friend? I'm going to knock over Calico here. All right, I'm going to move our friend out here. I'm going to move our friend, our Canadian Mountie, because this next one, the author is building their story around an Uncle Monty, the Canadian Mountie. So for purposes of reading this author's story, I'm going to add a little touch of imagination with our Mountie serving as Uncle Monty, Uncle Monty, the Canadian Mountie. If I say that too fast, I'm going to spit all over the camera. Uncle Monty, the Canadian Mountie. Uncle Monty, the Canadian Mountie. Uncle Monty, the Canadian Mountie. All right, I'm done. All right, that's enough. All right, so let me start on this next story. And this one came in, I think it came in really early in the morning. It wasn't a 1 o'clock in the morning thing, but it was fairly early. This next story came in. Okay, here we go. For my 6th birthday, my Uncle Monty, the Canadian Mountie, came all the way to Calico, North Carolina to give me a Singer sewing machine, a class 15. I knew he wanted me to love it, so I gasped, pretended to understand anything about it, and gave him a big hug. I love it, Uncle Monty. Well, honey, I'm glad to hear that. This particular machine is more valuable than she looks. I assumed he was referring to the chipped paint and general oldness of the thing. Thanks a lot, I said, and gave him another hug. He laughed, that deep, rumbling laugh. I loved and squeezed him tight. Over the next 7 years, we saw Uncle Monty at a few family gatherings, but with so many grandkids running around, he didn't ask about my sewing. That was good because the Singer ended up in the back of my closet covered with stuffed animals I had grown out of. Then one day, Ma got a surprise call over the Calico quilt supply store. Wait, let me read that again. I apologize. Then one day, Ma got a surprise call over at the Calico quilt supply store. She was measuring fluorescent flannel for Mrs. Chesterfield's latest rag quilt, while Mrs. Chesterfield's black schnauzer messed with Mom's pant legs. I'll be there in a month to kick off my retirement, Uncle Monty said. That's great, Monty. Ma also knew I hadn't made so much as a hair scrunchie with my Singer. So she called me at the Calico Hush Puppy shack to tell me the news and give me some advice. You'd better make something with that machine before he gets down here. Show him you understand what a nice gift it was. You're right, Ma. I'll think of something, I said. I knew I'd have to work in secret to avoid the rumor mill and that I had two choices: make a lot of hair scrunchies and hope he'd be impressed by the sheer quantity, or make something that looked like I had been working on it for 7 years, a quilt. First, I covered up my Singer in my bike basket and took her to Cow Country Vintage Sewing Repairs for a tune-up and swore the team to secrecy. Shh. That's where everyone went for the best service. Even I knew that. Next, I casually sped to Calico Cottage Quilt Makers to spy on a beginner's sewing class and decided to make a crazy quilt because it could look like anything. Then I set up shop in the basement of Calico's Cafe because the owner, Tracy, and I went all the way back to when she was my babysitter. On the 8th straight day of working there, I realized why my Singer was so valuable. My quilt was multiplying. As I examined the 5 new copies of my work amid my mess of fabric pins and that gorgeous machine that was going to make me look like a quilting expert, a thought occurred to me. Is there any chance Uncle Monty doesn't know exactly why my Singer is so valuable? And I'm going to call this story. What do you guys think I should call this story? Yeah, let me ask all of you, and then I'll write the title on this author's piece because they didn't specifically give it a title. What do you think we should name this particular essay that was submitted today? I've got some ideas, but you guys chime in and tell me what your thoughts are as far as a title for this. Yeah. Monty the Mountie. I like that. That's easy enough. Any other thoughts on a title for this particular one that I just read? Monty the Mountie. Any other thoughts? Oh, and that was Paul is another one of our judges. Quilting Well Kept Secret. I like both titles. Maybe we could have like Monty the Mountie hyphen a well-kept secret. Yeah, let's do that. Let me add that right now before I forget. So Monty the Mountie a well-kept secret. Yeah. Cool. Thanks, guys. Thank you to Paula and Emma. Oh, and Veronica as well. Hidden Treasure. Hidden Treasure is good too. My title is going to be so long. I write like a doctor. Look at how I wrote. Isn't that horrible? I think only I can read that. So Monty the Mountie, a well-kept secret. I want to put Veronica's hidden treasure in there too. How can I do that? Monty the Mountie, a well-kept secret, a well-kept hidden treasure secret, a well-kept hidden treasure secret. This is going to be the longest title ever. A well-kept hidden treasure. Treasure. Okay, got it. Monty the Mountie, a well-kept secret. Wait, a well-kept hidden treasure secret. Monty the Mountie, a well-kept hidden treasure secret. All right. And I better write that again on the back of here because later I'll look at this and I'll go, what the heck did I write? What did I write? All right. But that's a great story too, isn't it? Didn't these authors do a great job? So let me grab the next one. And this one is incredibly long. Very, very long. It's actually, someone took complete advantage of me saying 500-ish words. This is page 1 and page 2. I better drink a lot of water before I start reading this one. And the judges, Veronica and Paula and Emma, and I don't think I saw Bill in here, but the judges have already read this. So they have kind of a preview. And if I goof anything up, they'll probably know it. Ah! No pressure, no pressure. Okay, let me get another drink of water. Kick on a little bit of music while I'm drinking here. Emma again is in the hospital right now, recovering from a procedure today down in Florida, and she's jumping into the live chat and just like nothing's happening, as her one arm has an IV and the other one probably has a pressure cuff monitoring her blood pressure. Our cow country girls, all of them, are the toughest gals around. Incredible. All right. Let's pause this music. Because I know it's getting quite late, especially for the folks that are on the East Coast. It's actually after 10 o'clock already for them. And I'm making excuses. But you can kind of see what I've been working on today. And there were other machines on the workbench before these two went up there about 3 or 4 hours ago. But I haven't read this one yet either. So I'm going to do a dry read and hopefully I can do justice to it. But again, my plan is whoever myself and the judges end up picking as the grand prize winner, I'm going to call that individual, even if they're outside of the country, I'll call them and I'm going to ask them to please read their story, whether it's this story or one of the other stories that I've already read to you. Because an author usually will be able to read that story a lot better than I will be able to read it. Yeah. Okay. So here's our last story for this evening. I've already read two of them. This is our third. And this one is titled The Places You Go When You Sew. The Places You Go When You Sew. Okay. The phone rings at 5 o'clock Sunday night, as it does every week. It was my mom making her weekly call. At 98 years old, she still calls to check on her son at the same time every Sunday. We exchanged the same greetings as always, but quickly got to the important part of the call. She was having trouble with the featherweight. I cannot wind a bobbin on the machine. If I wind it by hand, I don't have time to get one lap size quilt top done each week for the church bag ladies to tie and give to the veterans home. Since you retired last month, maybe you could come and visit me and take a look at it. Hint, hint, poke, poke. Wednesday, after a 200-mile drive, my wife and I knocked on my mom's door. We hugged and kissed and soon ended up in the sewing room and began to inspect the tiny mite Otho. My wife and I have several machines and service them ourselves. We were unable to diagnose and repair the problem. I suggested to my mom that I have been watching a retired, not yet. I suggested to my mom that I have been watching a repairman on YouTube named Scott Geller from Cow Country Vintage Sewing Machines and Restoration. If you could get by using your Sew More or the Kenmore on the sun porch, we could take your featherweight to Scott. I'm sure he can fix it. This is where the plans for our road trip to Calico, Tennessee began. After 10 hours driving on back roads, my wife and I descended from the hills of Tennessee to the river bottom of the Tennessee River. There was a town of Calico looking like a picture-perfect postcard from the past. I've got to say that again. That's a little bit of alliteration that this author, I'm sure, did intentionally. There was a town of Calico looking like a picture-perfect postcard from the past. The buildings were old but beautifully painted in bright colors with a welcoming air about them. Okay, I got to change the camera angle since they're talking about the colorful, brightly painted buildings. Excuse me, Mr. Monty. Yeah. There we go. Okay, now I got it. So I'll read that line one more time. The buildings were old but beautifully painted in bright colors with a welcoming air about them. We dropped Mom's machine to Scott and went to explore the lovely village of 400 people. We walked to the city park, which was scattered with families taking their dogs for walks, children playing in the playground, or simply enjoying a warm spring day. There was even a group of musicians playing bluegrass music playing in the gazebo. The twangy melody drifted in the warm breeze as it mixed with the wonderful aromas coming from Calico's cafe. As we strolled along, we were nearly struck by an older lady riding a bicycle. Hold on, hold on. There she is. She had a large parcel on the front and a larger one still on the back. One of the children told us that her name was Maggie. She can't see too well and she has everyone's wash and mending on the bike. Keep out of her way. The smell from the Calico Cafe proved irresistible, so we went in. The red gingham curtains were a compliment to gleaming wide board floors and polished oak tables and chairs. On the walls were quilts, each one with the name of the maker as well as the year it had won first prize at Calico Corner Quilt Show. The friendly waitress, a stout lady about 60 years old, came to recommend the prize winning pie. As we waited for the apple and peanut butter pie, we admired the quilts. Each one of them was a different style, from Amish bars with elaborate hand embellishment to contemporary art quilts. With the pie came the news that the annual quilt show will be tomorrow, and we should stay if we can. As we settled the bill, I asked if she could tell us anything about Maggie, who had who we had met on the bicycle earlier. It turns out that she is harmless. They live in a shack on the outskirts of town and have very little money. Every I'm changing pages right now, you guys. It's a two-page essay. Uh, Everyone in town sends their laundry and mending to her so that we have more time to create their quilts. Nobody knows how she is able to do all the work since there is no electricity, but her contributions are appreciated. We walked next door to the Calico Quilt Supply store where we saw all kinds of threads and notions, as well as cutting mats, rulers, and templates of every shape and size. Since we couldn't decide which we needed, we walked on down the street to the Calico Cottage quilt makers. Inside, you could hear the hum of a long arm quilting machine creating a beautiful design. We looked at the amazing array of fabric with every color, pattern, and texture imaginable. The list of classes was equally impressive from beginner to advanced. After a purchase of more fabric, then we then oh wait, after a purchase of more fabric than we will admit, we asked more about the quilt show. Each quilt must be entered and hung on the fence in the town square by 10 o'clock. The grand prize winner will be named at 4 and will then be auctioned to the highest bidder. All proceeds from the sale are donated to the Calico Community Improvement Association to provide cultural improvement opportunities for the community. As we went out the door, Maggie came whizzing by with another load. We watched her weave down the street and became more intrigued by this unusual person. We wandered back to the town square, sat on a bench, and listened to the music. A conversation with a local man revealed that Maggie and her brother lived just behind Scott's workshop and they had moved there 10 years ago. They kept to themselves. He was only seen mowing the grass once a week and never spoke to anyone. We decided to go to the workshop and check on the progress on Mom's featherweight and look at this mysterious shack. Scott told us he would be finished by 9 the next morning. We walked down the dirt path past the shack. I thought I saw a man sitting with his back to the window at an old treadle sewing machine, but I can't be sure. We decided it was getting late and we better get a room for the night, and off we went. A night of dreams about fabric, quilts, bicycles, pie, and mystery left us eager to get started in the morning. Scott had done a beautiful job fixing Mom's machine. He packed it carefully and set off to see the quilt show before the long drive home. Wait, let me read that again. I messed up. I'm sorry. We packed it carefully and set off to see the quilt show before the long drive home. Quilts of every kind adorned the fences of the square. The beauty of all the colors and patterns was overwhelming to the senses. Just then, Maggie's bike came down the sidewalk. On it was a tall, thin man. He stopped at the check. Wait, he stopped. Yeah, I read that right. He stopped at the check in table and pulled a stunning quilt from the basket. He filled out the entry form and handed it to the clerk. We need the name of the quilt maker, the clerk said. The man replied, Isaac Singer. Men can sew too. What a clever ending to that story, isn't it? Isaac Singer was the quilt maker. And do you know what? There's truth. There's absolute truth to that story, because when Isaac was first building his empire around 1851, he would regularly sit down with ladies in a big room that were working on machines that had just come out of the factory, and they were putting them to the test. And Isaac Singer could sew as well. He could sew better than I can talk right now at this late hour. It's about 9:20, 10:20 Eastern Standard Time. But that's our last entry that we have at this point. So right now we have a total of 7 entries for this contest giveaway. 7 entries that each of the judges has already had the opportunity to read. And so I'm excited. I'm excited. We still have, let's see, it's about almost 9:30, about 2.5 hours left. 2.5 hours left in this contest giveaway. And who knows? Maybe we'll have someone surprise us. Maybe we'll have more than someone, one individual surprise us with submitting a last minute entry to this contest giveaway. If that's the case, I'll email them to the judges tonight. And over this weekend, the judges and myself will have a chance to reread those entries again and again and again, and eventually pick a grand prize winner by vote, and a second runner up and a third runner up as well. So, isn't it great to hit milestones? Isn't it great that we hit 12,000 subscribers so we could do this contest giveaway? And my thanks to the judges for their diligence in reading these stories and rereading them again and just soaking them in, because they're brilliantly written. Don't you agree? These these folks are not, for the most part, maybe with the exception of one, they're not professional authors, but you wouldn't know that by the masterful tales that they've created. Amazing stories. It's going to be, I was chatting with a couple of the judges earlier today, and we all said, oh my goodness gravy, is it going to be tough to pick a winner? It's going to be crazy difficult to pick a winner out of the entries that we have so far. 7 entries, each one of them are just masterful tales of creating the town or the village of Calico. And I'm so excited now. I'm so excited. Let me tell you why I'm excited. I'm excited because with the 4 initial entries, we were only in Calico, California. Now, with these authors that have stepped out of the shadows into the light in less than 24 hours before this contest is coming to an end, all of a sudden now we're in Tennessee and we're in North Carolina. How cool is that? So, you know what? I'm going to issue a challenge to anyone watching this live stream right now. If you're adventurous and you're a night owl, if you create a story in West Virginia or in South Carolina, even if your essay is not a grand prize winner, a second runner up, or a third runner up, if you jump in in these last hours of this contest giveaway, and you write a and I already know it's going to be brilliant because all the people that are in this classroom are just crazy brilliant people. They just are. But if you step into the ring in the last hours of this essay contest giveaway and you write about Calico in West Virginia or South Carolina, even if you don't get picked by the judges and myself as a grand prize winner, a second runner up or a third runner up, I'm going to send something very, very special to you. So special that when you open it up, you're going to be like, I cannot believe that Scott sent this to me. I can't believe it. I'm blown away. So I'm just sending that out there as a teaser. And I think the judges would agree that it would be super cool if in these last hours of this contest, you only have about 2.5 hours to work with. Right now it's like 9:25 Central Time, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30. Yeah, a little bit over 2.5 hours to write something brilliant about West Virginia Calico or South Carolina Calico. And I'm going to send you something that will absolutely, you'll be shocked. You'll be amazed. You'll be like, I can't believe it. So, yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to wrap up this live stream, which has already run really late. Where is it? There it is. I'm going to wrap up this live stream with some music. I'm going to really take a quick peek at. Oh, wow. And welcome Elaine. Elaine joined us as well. Welcome to Elaine. And I agree, Elaine, 100%. Great stories. Glad I'm not a judge. Will be a tough call. Absolutely. But you know what? These judges, Veronica and Emma and Paula and Bill, I couldn't be surrounded by greater folks. And I know that over the weekend, because I really don't want to. Let me be real clear about this for the judges. I'm talking to the judges now. I don't want to. I'm kind of wiping the sleep on eyes. I don't want to hear from the judges until at the very earliest Sunday. Even Monday would be fine because I want the judges to take the weekend. Already, tomorrow's Friday. I want the judges to take the weekend and read and reread these essays. Right now, we have 7 essays that we have to read and reread, including myself. And if you want to reach out late on Sunday and say, okay, I've taken Saturday and most of Sunday to digest these great essays, and this is my grand prize winner choice, this is my second runner up, this is my third runner up. But if you want to wait until Monday, that's fine as well, because I want the judges to really take time and read these and reread them and close your eyes and visualize that Calico community that each one of these incredibly talented authors has created for us. I don't want the judges to feel rushed at all. And especially, I don't want our judge, Emma, to feel rushed as she's going to be discharged from the hospital tomorrow and heading home after having a surgical procedure. Emma, if you want to take until Tuesday, that's fine. What I'm going to say is that we will officially announce the grand prize winner and the second runner up and the third runner up, and whether or not we had anybody jump in at the last minute in these last hours of the contest and write a Calico West Virginia or a Calico South Carolina. I'm going to announce all of that on Wednesday. It's not going to be announced until Wednesday. So if you're tapping your foot or twiddling your thumbs or whatever, you're going to be twiddling them until Wednesday. So if the judges want to get back to me on Sunday, fine. If they want to wait until Monday or Tuesday, no worries, because I'm going to make the official announcement on Wednesday through a live stream like this. And it's probably going to be later in the day so that folks that are working there during the day have a chance to settle in, sit down, and get ready for that live stream to start and then I'll make that official announcement on who wins that grand prize and who our second and third runner ups are. Okay, fair enough. So Wednesday, and I don't even know what day it is. If one of the judges or anyone that's in this live stream would look at their calendar and tell me what Wednesday is, that would be awesome. And that's the day that I'll announce the grand prize winner, the second runner up, the third runner up, blah, 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 blah. See how wacky I get late at night? I'm kind of funny to hang around with late at night. Yes, I am. All right. Let me close this out with some music and your opportunity to see this beautiful town or village of Calico again. You'll probably see it on Wednesday as I announce all of the winners. And in my opinion, every single author is a winner in my book. And I'm sure the judges would echo that as well. All right. Some music to wrap this up. And again, this contest ends in about 9:30, 10:30, 11. I've got to use my fingers this late at night, you guys. In about 2.5 hours, this contest is history. In 2.5 hours, this contest is history. It ends at midnight Central Standard Time. So at that time, we're done. And then it's up to myself and the judges to pick those winners. So, all right. Thanks again to all the authors. If any of the authors are in this live stream, either in the live chat or in the shadows, I don't want you guys to identify yourselves. I want you to stay secret, top secret about this. Thank you again to the authors, those 7 authors so far that have stepped forward. You are brilliant, and you really have created a wondrous Calico for all of us in North Carolina, Tennessee, and also in California. All right. Blah, 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 blah. Have a great evening, everybody. God bless you. And we'll end with some fun music as you wrap up your chat in the live chat. Yeah, something like that. Something like that. All right, let's put on some music. All right, that's kind of mellow. Something peppier. I want peppy. Come on, you can do it. Really? That's not peppy. You're going to put everybody to sleep. Peppy. Oh, come on, guys. Really? Oh, come on. Yes! Ha-ha! Finally! Oh, yeah. Yeah. Take care, everybody. Have a great night. And get well, Emma. Get well, get well, get well. God bless everybody. See ya.